Right, starting lineup. No problem, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just switch scenes for you then. Are you ready? Here we go. We'll switch over to the Liverpool-West Ham game. As you can see below me, my score prediction for this one is the Reds to win it 2-1. I think it's going to be a difficult game, even without Mikel Antonio, who has been ruled out, by the way, for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. When I was talking to the Corey from the West Ham way yesterday, sorry, I'm just distracted. I have the Wolves game on in the background. Yesterday when I was talking to Corey from the West Ham way, we were unsure about the situation with Mikel Antonio, but of course, as these things always happen, as soon as the stream ends, the news breaks that he has been ruled out. So look, without any further ado, let me take you through my starting 11 and my predicted 11 for the game against West Ham tomorrow. Right, here we go. Right, so as you can see, Alisson in goal, obviously. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. As I said earlier on, he will be making his 100th Premier League appearance for the Reds, which is magnificent at such a young age. At left back, obviously, Robbo, no change there. Costa Simic is working his way back to fitness, but again, Robbo will be starting this one. Now, the interesting decision, of course, is what happens at centre-back. We know Fabinho's ruled out. We know Joel Matip won't be available until probably the Manchester City game at the earliest. So the decision was, do I drop Hendo in there or do I give one of the young guys a chance? And do you know what? I think Reece Williams has earned the opportunity to play alongside Joe Gomez in this game. And if worst case scenario happens, we can always drop Hendo back in if needs be. So I've given the nod to Reece Williams to play alongside Joe Gomez. Then we get to the midfield, and this is where it starts to get a bit exciting for me. I think we will see Thiago play tomorrow. I'm hoping it's from the start, but the gaffer, of course, may well choose to introduce him from 70 onwards, or he could go the other way and he could give him 50, 60 minutes and then make the change. So my midfield that I've gone with is Thiago, Hendo on the right of the midfield, and obviously Gini on the other side as well. Maybe a bit of a double pivot from Gini if needs be, but having Thiago in front of that back four as well, it gives us extra protection with the gaffer there as well, or not the gaffer, the captain there as well, Hendo. Obviously he can drop in and help Trent out on the right hand side as well if needs be. And then we get to the front three, and again I've made a decision here that I don't know if people would agree with or disagree with, but I've gone for Diogo Jota on the left hand side. I've switched Sadio Mane over to the right hand side with Mohamed Salah through the centre. Now I couldn't care less if that switched around and Mane through the centre and Salah's on the right, or if they switch around like they did the other day where we've seen Jota pop up on the left and then on the right hand side. I think Jota has earned the right to displace Bobby Firmino at this moment in time. You guys know that I'm a massive Bobby Firmino fan, so it's not easy for me to admit that my Bobby Firmino propaganda needs to take a rest. So I think Diogo Jota deserves a start. I would have maybe pushed for Takumi Minamino, but I honestly don't think that his performance in the last game justifies a start in this one. Maybe he come off the bench, make a bit of a difference. Shaqiri as well, somebody who I did give consideration to with this one, but again, he could be a good impact sub. And look, I'm being honest about this. Divock Origi, for me, I can't see where his Liverpool career is going, ladies and gentlemen. I really can't. I'll never forget the moments. We've all spoken about them, but you can't dine out off those forever. In football, you're only really as good as your last game, and Divock Origi, to me, is falling further and further down the pecking order at Liverpool. It's just my humble opinion, folks. I understand that people may see it differently, but to me, he's right down there at number 6 or 7 now for our attacking options. But I suppose the big decisions around this game centred in 3 positions. Who plays at centre-back? Who goes in midfield with Thiago, or will Thiago be available? And then, of course, what front three we go with. Difficult decisions for the gaffer because obviously we play Saturday evening, and then, of course, the lads have to travel over to Italy to take on Atalanta on Tuesday. And then we've got the game against Manchester City before we break for the international break. So that's the 11 that I've gone with. Again, moving back to the prediction, I've gone for a 2-1 win to the Reds. I don't think it's going to be easy. West Ham, a bit unpredictable lately, I think it's fair to say. They had a terrible start to the season. They've come back. They've absolutely destroyed Leicester 3-0. They have that mad 3-3 draw with Spurs as well. And then they go and take a point off Manchester City. So I honestly don't know what to expect. But I'm not going to lie to you. It is a bonus for us that Mikel Antonio isn't available. Again, the full preview where we spoke with Corey from the West Ham way is available if you guys want more West Ham information on this one. Corey gave an interesting take, of course, on the Liverpool players, the Firmino situation. And I'll be going on there for a post-match reaction show tomorrow after the Anfield Agenda reaction show. So that's my 11 anyway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to switch back over to the normal studio now, but I'd love to know what you guys think. If you're watching this back later on, I'm sure Connor will probably clip this up and put it out. Let me know your predicted 11, let me know your score predictions, and let me know, of course, who from West Ham worries you. The obvious answer would have been Mikel Antonio, but Souček has been looking very good for them as well. Bowen has come through this season, has been performing very, very well. And of course we have Lanzini coming back, getting his form bit by bit, and he scored that fantastic goal as well against Spurs. So a couple of weeks ago I'd have been going into this game far more confident, but obviously with the centre-back situations at Liverpool right now, and the fact that West Ham are in a good vein of form, I think it's going to be a difficult evening, but I do think we'll prevail. I do think we'll get to 3 points. So that's my 11 anyway. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to switch back over to our regular studio now. Right, there we go. Right, let me get some comments. Antonio's a massive miss for West Ham, said Rob Shepherd. What do I think of Ramos to Liverpool? That could be, not having a dig at you here, mate, but that could be one of the more ludicrous transfer rumours I've ever heard. Why would we want Ramos? Somebody who's already at the end of his career, and a storied, great career that he has had, albeit obviously we despise him very, very much so for that incident in the Champions League final, and I despise him for many other incidents as well, but no, mate, that's just not going to happen. What else have we got? Hi Craig, not sure if you remember me from South African Zoom call, but keep up the great work, and 3-1 to the Reds. I do, Niraj, I absolutely do remember you. That's a very distinctive name for me. Obviously, I'm not sure how common it is in South Africa, but I certainly do remember you, mate, and thank you for inviting me on that Zoom call. It was a pleasure, and you're going for a 3-1 win. I'll take it. As I always say in these things, I'd rather a 1-0 win to us than the 2-1, because I like the idea of us keeping a clean sheet, and of course you went with a 3-1, buddy. I'd rather a 2-0 there as well. She says Thiago won't start. Absolutely, quite possibly, mate, and I could well be being very optimistic here, but it could go one of two ways. As you said, maybe Thiago won't start. Maybe we'll see James Milner in there with Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum. Maybe we'll get a surprise and we'll see Naby Keita in there. You never know, but you know, call me an optimistic buddy. I'm hoping that he starts this game. Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit excited about the thoughts of actually getting to see Thiago properly in our midfield, but I understand where you're coming from. He could come on later on. He may well not even be in the matchday squad tomorrow, but allow me to dream for a minute, pal. Allow me to be positive. Somebody says Alaba even good anymore. I'll get to all of that, buddy. We'll go through the full transfer section in a couple of minutes. I do have a long list there to go through. All the centre-back options that Liverpool are currently looking at. I'll go through them. I'll detail what my pros and cons are of each one and how likely I think they are. So just give me a couple of minutes and I promise you I'll go through all of them. Close game but a 4-3 win to Liverpool, said Rob Salmon. That would be a very entertaining evening for us, mate. And probably a very worrying one as well. If Lovren didn't leave, would he do at centre-back? Of course. The gaffer would have no problem with giving Dejan Lovren a run if he had still been here, mate. But yeah, look, it's there you go. David Alaba is on the paper. Again, I will talk about it, mate. Don't worry about it.